Now that you know how ideologies inform society and that belief systems justify systems of oppression, let's examine how an ideology then actually creates the system of oppression. The starting point is a struggle for dominance. Groups compete with each other to see who will have the most power, who will be able to create a system to take advantage of the other group. In all society, there is some form of social hierarchy. Some societies are more egalitarian than others, but no society is completely egalitarian. There's always a leader. Different societies have different levels of social inequality, but there is always at least some sort of social stratification. Every person has some sort of social location that determines, based on many different statuses, such as race, class, gender, occupational role, and other characteristics, they'll have different statuses which determine where they fall on the social hierarchy. Some groups have more social status or social dominance than others. Once a group gets into that dominant position, they can then exploit other groups to maintain that dominance. To understand the idea of oppression, you have to know three key concepts. Social location refers to where you fit in society. It's based on what are known as master statuses, those characteristics that society deemed to be most important. These master statuses generally include race, gender, sexual orientation, ethnicity, work occupation, disability, and general wealth. A social system refers to the pattern of relationships people have with each other. These patterns may also discriminate against people, thus are known as systems of oppression. You have to also understand that social relationships are not simple. The social world is a complex web of relationships, and these relationships intersect. Sometimes sociologists refer to intersectionality of statuses, meaning that your various master statuses intersect to create your social location. Oppression could be thought of as an analogy to a board game that you were invited to play, but you could never win because of the way the rules were set up. The rules of society are set up so that it's highly unlikely that you can win. When the dominant group has the ability to set the rules, how likely is it that they will make sure the playing field is 100% fair? When the rules are set to force certain groups to do certain things in the game of life, there is no option other than to play or to completely drop out. Not only can the dominant group set the rules, but they also have the ability to frame the events to their advantage. For example, history is written by the winners, and the media reports events according to those that own the media and the advertisers that support it. The dominant group creates reality, and by doing so, can create stereotypes, perpetuate self-supporting ideologies, and justify the system of oppression. The patterns of relationships that are used to discriminate against people are called systems of oppression. In these systems of oppression, the ideologies, the ideas that a society believes, are enacted in everyday life. And there are four major systems of oppression that are used to divide and objectify individuals: race and ethnicity, class, gender, and sexual orientation. Our course focuses on race and ethnicity, but these two categories should also beg the question of how race and ethnicity intersect with class, gender, and sexuality, which are also considered to be master statuses. There are other master statuses that can be considered as well, but these are the main statuses that usually frame up systems of oppression. Structural inequality is the framework within a society where built-in inequalities validate the oppression of certain groups of people while privileging others. This institutionalized form of oppression is often rooted in historical mistreatment of certain groups and supports the cultural and social factors that are used to justify the oppression. Due to structural inequality, women still earn less than men in the workplace, regardless of their positions, and Black women and Latinas earn a fraction of what white men can earn. This phenomenon is a result of a long history of discrimination against women and women of color by white men in positions of power.